Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Saco City Council meeting for Monday, June 1st, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. Would like to make note of all members of council present this evening, with the exception of Councilor Doyle, who has been excused, and with us tonight we do have City Administrator Pelletier. Would you please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. Thank you, everyone. Okay, moving on to item number 4 under general tonight, we do have several very special recognitions this evening. First off, I am honored to recognize the outstanding accomplishments of student athletes from Thornton Academy who have achieved remarkable success this year. First, we congratulate the boys hockey team for winners of the Class A State Ice Hockey State Championship. The Golden Trojans triumphed 2-1 over the Chevrolet Yarmouth Co-op. And the boys hockey team includes Ross Todd, Colton Cross, Austin Goodman, Trent Lasser, Oliver Thompson, Ryan Gagnon, Brennan Tabor, Ryan Johnson, Kason Latart, Andrew Reike, Max Siebert, Braden Dwayne, Owen Dorsey, Jake Skillens, Grady Hersey, Tucker Bailey, Jake Allaire, Devin Doobie, Corbin Poussad, Trevor Belangeron, Austin Roy, Dominic Martin, Bo Hubbard, Aiden Layton, Dalton Cole, Cole Fernald, and senior Jake Skillings is the recipient of the Travis Roy Award this year, recognizing Maine's most outstanding player. Jake recorded 21 goals, 28 assists, and 49 points, ranking first in Class A for total points and fourth in Class A for goals. Senior Trent Lasser was also named a Travis Roy finalist with a standout season of 23 goals, 19 assists, and 42 points, placing third in the Class A for points and second in Class A for goals. It was only the second time in the trophy's history that teammates were finalists. It was the first time in the trophy's history that players from the same program won the award in back-to-back seasons. And with that, we would like to congratulate the hockey team. All right, and next up, in swimming. Both the girls and the boys team excelled at the Class A State Swim Championships at Colby College on March 6, 2026, with the girls placing third and the boys placing second. Special congratulations to Kenzie Shield, the state champion in both the 200-yard freestyle and the 500-yard freestyle, as well as to Lucy Perry, state champion in the 200-yard individual medley and the 100-yard breaststroke. Members of the boys swim team included Jacoby Blanchett, Aaron Garland, Wyatt Libby, Giorgio Merigine, Hein Nijin, Alex Queltro, Asher Shunke, Pierce Shields, Noah Smith, Jackson Vincent, Tucker Vincent, and Aaron Williams. And members of the girls swimming team included Charlotte Bean, Julia Blanchett, Emily Davis, Lena Ducky, Allison Garland, Mackenzie Hebert, Allison Giacomixi, and that is the girls swim team, and congratulations. Oh, I apologize. There's actually a few more girls I should recognize. It was on a separate sheet. We also have Mariah Katsu, Jeanne Kim, Isabel Knox, Anna Lefebvre, Ann Perry, Lucy Perry, Alana Poirier, Allison Riggins Smith, Jacqueline Scully, Mackenzie Shields, Jimwayne Sun, Madison Tripp, and Stella Wells. Thank you. Okay, and third, last but certainly not least, in wrestling, Evan McMahon represented Thornton Academy in the New England Wrestling Championship in Providence after earning second place at the main state qualifier at 106 pounds. These achievements represent not only athletic excellence, but also the dedication, discipline, and community pride that defines Thornton Academy students. I, along with the members of the Saco City Council, would like to thank the students, the coaches, families, and all of the supporters who contributed to their success. Congratulations and great job, everyone. Thank you. With that, I would like to recognize and ask the players who are here from all to meet us out front for a quick photo. And I would like the counselors as well. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for that short recess. It's always a special honor when we can recognize our students and the accomplishments that they provide. So we did have a second recognition for the Wayway store, but unfortunately Peter Scontras fell ill today, and that will be rescheduled to a later date. Moving on to item number 5, committee correspondence to council. Are there any committee members wishing to speak? Not seeing anyone. Moving on to item number 6, that is public comment. And we do have 3 members of the public signed up first. We will go through those 3, and then we'll open it up to the floor. When your name is called, please step to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you will have 3 minutes to address the council. First up, we have Kathy Dobbins.
Good evening, Kathy Dobbins, 28 Meserve Circle. Nice to see you all. I've taken a break, back. I didn't realize we were going to be on the agenda tonight, but I came prepared. We first came here back in September with 2 clear requests: an emergency moratorium to protect the residents and a rent stabilization ordinance. The moratorium was enacted, and we appreciate that, but we are 9 months later, and we are still waiting on an ordinance. Meanwhile, cities and towns across Maine have continued moving forward to protect their residents from out-of-state equity firms doing exactly what they're doing, is increasing the rent. Today is June 1st, and budget season's passed, and we are hoping the workshop will get scheduled, as residents cannot continue to live around uncertainties. One of our committee members has resigned and sold his house because of this rent increase, so we've had to replace a board member. We've also taken the initiative to work with the owners since the moratorium was lifted. They have not reached out to us. We've been doing the initiative and reaching out to them to get a letter of intent with the intent to purchase. They have not given us a non-disclosure. They haven't provided us any documentation. They have all done that through CDI with Nora Goslin. So we've been seeing pieces of that, but they still have not sat down to a table with us to negotiate the purchase of this park. We were told with our last meeting with Nora on Thursday, which I was not part of, but I was informed by Barb and Sarah and the other committee members, that the new LOI would be coming, that if we did not get to terms, Frank was putting it on the market within the next 30 days, whether we agreed to it or not. So we still don't have an agreement or a purchase and sale agreement, and we're still working on that. The owners, if they don't accept our offer, we are going to make sure they follow the state law with first of right of refusal, and we are going to go that route if we have to. There are new protections in place as of July 15th to protect the loopholes so they cannot transfer their ownership to another entity. So we are making sure that all laws are followed, but the residents shouldn't be left vulnerable while we wait for the protections to be put in place should they not sell to us. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, next up we have Barb Thomas.
Bear with me, guys. My printer broke, and I haven't gotten it fixed yet. Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. My name is Barb Thomas, and I reside at the Blue Haven Mobile Home Park, 2 Meserve Circle. I'm standing before you tonight to give you an update on what true community action looks like, and to address any recent progress the Council has made toward a rent stabilization ordinance. At Blue Haven, we haven't just been waiting for help. We have been doing the work. We recently incorporated the Blue Haven Resident Cooperative as a legal entity. We have continued to secure signatures for community membership from our residents, and we are currently at the table negotiating counteroffers to purchase our property if our community votes to do so down the road and take ownership of our community. Also, if we can get the owners to work with us on that. We are fighting hard for our homes, but we still need the city to fight alongside of us. I want to acknowledge that this Council is finally coming to an agreement on a rental stabilization, I hope, and we see some movement, and we are glad that the promises made in this room are starting to take shape. However, an agreement of some sort is not the finish line, it's the baseline. While we negotiate to buy a park, you finalize the details of this ordinance, the housing crisis in our city isn't pausing. Families are still facing impossible choices between buying groceries or keeping a roof over their heads. Longtime residents are still quietly being priced out. Every day that passes without a finalized, enforced ordinance is another day a neighbor may have to pack and move. As you move to finalize this agreement, We are asking you to ensure it has teeth. We did not ask for a watered-down policy just to check a box. We ask for a robust, fair rent ordinance that provides a real stability and prevents predatory housing practices. We need a guarantee that tenant voices will remain centered in the final draft and ensuring it truly protects working families. True leadership is following through on your word with legislation that actually meets the scale of the crisis. We expect this council to honor its promise in full, show genuine sincerity, and pass a strong rental stabilization ordinance immediately. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up we have Lisa DeRocher.
Lisa DeRosia, 18 Pine Haven Street, Saco. I'm here to say how important this is to me and all the residents of the town of Saco to plead our case for rent stabilization ordinance. This isn't going away. It is an emergency. Our lot rent has doubled, and we know these corporations won't hesitate to increase our rent again as soon as they see an open opportunity. There's absolutely no need of it whatsoever. Enough is enough already. We need your help to put a stop to it now. It's already out of hand and unaffordable. I really don't know what else to say except, please do not tell us again that this is not an emergency, because it is. Please put a stop to corporate corporation. It's corrupt. It's inhumane. It's criminal to rob from the retired, the elderly, the disabled residents of Saco. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that is the list that we have previously signed up. If there are any other members of the public wishing to speak, please step forward, state your name and address for the record, and you will have 3 minutes to address the council.
Hello, my name is Dan Newman. I'm a resident of Portland. I am a union organizer with the Maine AFL-CIO. And we have, the labor movement in the last 6 to 8 months have gotten involved in organizing with mobile home park residents across the state for the very reason that housing is of utmost importance to union folks as well as the folks in this who just spoke. It's a statewide crisis, as you know. I kind of want to, I commend you for the moratorium and want to also offer any assistance in connecting to other municipalities that have already passed ordinances. There's currently 4, and right now there are 16 campaigns statewide right now that could end by the end of this year with lot rent stabilization ordinances. I'm happy to connect you to people in the governor's office or some of the policymakers behind those considerations. I would just like to impress upon what I've kind of learned knocking on doors in communities and talking to folks is this is very, very clear to most Mainers, and I think you'll find whether Democrat, Republican, Independent, unaffiliated, don't care. People see it for what it is. It's corporate exploitation. It's going to destroy our housing stock, the mobile home park housing stock. And in places where municipalities haven't taken action and citizens have taken it upon themselves to do citizen initiatives, they are winning by overwhelming majorities. Old Orchard Beach in 2024 passed the first lot rent stabilization ordinance with 70%. In March, Searsport passed one with 85%. In April, Jay passed a moratorium by hand vote at a town hall, 100%. So I just want to say that, that this issue feels very urgent to the general public, and certainly the people you just heard from. And I'm here to offer any support in connecting you to some of the other policymakers in other towns, and kind of so there can be some collaboration and learning from each other. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Good evening to all of you. My name is Richard Goslin, and I live at 7 Reserve Circle in the Blue Haven Mobile Home Park. My biggest concern, and many others, is the people on fixed income. It's really hitting them. But now the rent increase has been divided into 2 years instead of 1 year. Will be. My opinion is that the owners have done zero to improve the park. There are dead trees that are hazardous. There's potholes you could bury this thing in. They're doing absolutely nothing, not a thing. If any of you would take a ride through the park, you'd see it's in dire need, and what needs to be done is not cheap. It's many thousands of dollars. So I don't know what the councils can do, but hopefully you guys are on our side to help us and negotiate a selling agreement with the owners. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kevin Roach, 18 Vines Road. Didn't come to speak to this tonight, but fully support the Blue Haven residents, and whether it's at the council level or at the state, full corporate disclosure of who owns things should be priority, not to get in the situation in the first place. And also, when it comes to zoning, I know you got commercial, residential, something to consider, if Saco can do it or the state, is local commercial resident ownership if they form. I know there can be shell companies going all sorts of side, but I believe there's opportunity to future regulate that as well for parks and also other apartments and whatnot that come up. I'm here though as president of SOS Saco Bay. I don't want to steal Ryan's potential administrator update later on, but it is good news to hear that jetty rocks are in South Portland. I learned this weekend that railroad tracks actually do make it to the point of South Portland. I didn't believe that the tracks were going on that side, but they are there. And it's been delayed a couple times. We did post as SOS, wondering where the Army Corps was, and it is our citizen kind of pressure to make sure the Army Corps, it's been 20 years, another 20 days, we're still going to be at it until they're here. So, but we really look forward for the rocks to arrive later this week by barge, and welcome the entire community to, come down and check out the work that will start just in time for the summer and the kids getting out of school. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other members of the public wishing to speak? Okay, not seeing anyone seeking recognition. Moving on to item number 7, that is the approval of the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes for May 18th, 2026?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilor Edwards. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Parks. Any discussion on the minutes? Okay, roll call vote. Councilor Edwards?
Yes.
Councilor Parks?
Yes.
Councilor Onen?
Yes.
Councilor Gale?
Yes.
Councilor Hewitt?
Yes.
Councilor Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Okay, that takes care of item 7, and moving on to item 8, under action items, we do have 2. Item A, 1 reading, is the order to authorize the lease purchase of 5 new municipal vehicles in the principal amount not to exceed $1.9 million, and that is Councilor Johnston.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The City of Saco is planning to purchase 5 new municipal vehicles through a capital lease for a not-to-exceed amount of $1,900,000. These purchases were planned as part of the city's fiscal year 2027 approved budget in its capital improvement plan. City Council is asked to review and authorize this lease purchase. The city's bond counsel attorney from Drummond and Woodsum has written the attached order. Be it ordered that the City Council approve the order to authorize lease purchases of 5 municipal vehicles in the aggregate principal amount of up to $1,900,000 in substantially the same form as presented. I move to approve the order.
Thank you. Motion has been made by Councilor Johnston. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Hewitt. Any discussion or comment on the item? Okay. Not seeing anyone. Roll call vote. Councilor Edwards?
Yes.
Councilor Parks?
Yes.
Councilor Onen?
Yes.
Councilor Gale?
Yes.
Councilor Hewitt?
Yes.
Councilor Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Okay, now on to item B, that is a public hearing, the new application for a special entertainment permit for the Townhouse Pub, and that is Councilor Johnston.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Super Chief LLC, doing business as Townhouse Pub, 5 Store Street, has applied for a new special entertainment permit for the establishment. Permit would be concurrent with the establishment's new liquor license once approved by the State of Maine's Bureau of Alcoholic Beverages and Lottery Operations. The applicant has paid all applicable permit fees, and the clerk has properly advertised the public hearing in accordance with Saco City Code, Chapter 93, Entertainment, Section 93-2. The clerk has also checked with Code Enforcement, the Finance Department, Fire Department, and the Police Department, and there are no concerns. I move to open the public hearing.
Thank you. Motion has been made by Councilor Johnston to open the public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Edwards. Roll call vote. Councilor Edwards?
Yes.
Councilor Parks?
Yes.
Councilor Onen?
Yes.
Councilor Gale?
Yes.
Councilor Hewitt?
Yes.
Councilor Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 to open the public hearing at 6:57 p.m. If there are any members of the public wishing to speak, please step forward, state your name and address, and you will have 3 minutes to address. Okay, not seeing any members wishing to speak. Councilor Johnston?
I move to close the public hearing and be it ordered that the City Council grant the new application submitted by Super Chief LLC, doing business as Townhouse Pub, for a special entertainment permit to be concurrent with the establishment's new liquor license. I move to approve the order.
Thank you. Motion has been made by Councilor Johnston. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Onen. Okay. Any discussion or comment on the item? Councilor Hewitt?
Quick question on the time. It says until 1 a.m. Is that when we allow all pubs and bars to stay open till in the city?
Yes, that's state law, so.
Okay. Just checking.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, Councilor Gale?
For some levity, it looks like there's fortune telling, potentially. It's a permitted use, so in case anyone needs to know what's going to happen in the future, stop by if it's passed.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, Councilor Edwards, roll call vote.
Yes.
Councilor Parks?
Yes.
Councilor Onen?
Yes.
Councilor Gale?
Yes.
Councilor Hewitt?
Yes.
Councilor Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Okay, so that completes the action items this evening, and moving on to item 9 under new business, we do have one item, and that is the mobile home park lot rent stabilization ordinance options. And I believe we have Deputy Administrator Prescott with us.
Thank you for having me this evening. If you'll give me a second for the technology to work, I can give you a little bit of an update on where we are with the drafting of the ordinance. Last time I came here, I believe it was the beginning of March. And so at the next time I'm here, you'll see in my presentation, we'll have some red lines for you to review. It'll be a new ordinance, so they won't essentially be red lines, but. A little bit of background, a lot of us have already lived through these meeting dates, but just for members of the public and for our historical reference, just going back to looking at our moratorium dates, as well as the repeal, and then the new business review in early March of the different ordinances we were looking at and starting to digest. A little bit about the state and regional context. We certainly look to the main state statutes, to what's going on with the statewide initiatives for items that we're reviewing at the time, as well as ordinances from other communities. When I was here in March, I provided ordinances from Waterville, Westbrook, Old Orchard, as well as the model ordinance, and asked if there were any comments or feedback that you'd want me to draft in the upcoming ordinance. So that opportunity is still out there. Policy overview, what I'm looking to do is have a new ordinance section in Saco. It will probably sit right underneath our current mobile homes section, which is in the 140s. This will probably be section 145, although that's not really important for purposes of this evening. In general, it will be similar to the model ordinance in some ways. We'll have a purpose statement, applicability and exemptions, definitions, lot rent and fee increase limitations. What I'm looking at right now is a limitation on the number of rent increases annually, as well as a potential consumer price index +1 for how the base rent can be calculated to go up, as well as many of them have a vacancy base rent where the rent can be increased a certain percentage if there's a legal vacancy. There'll also be a violation section, and then as with most of our ordinances, there'll be a process by which to appeal. Most ordinances we're looking at have a base rent calculation. They have a limitation on how many times the rent can be raised. They have notification requirements for rent increases in general, and then they'll have a process by which the rent can be increased beyond the base rent calculation. So in our case, I'm envisioning having a rent increases that require a hearing and a rent increases that do not require a hearing section. So there'd be two separate sections of the ordinance. Rent increases requiring a hearing, so these would be potential increases above and beyond the normal base rent calculation of CPI plus 1%. And that would be followed a process whereby there'd be a written petition from the owners of the mobile home park. There'd be proper notice to residents following a timeline notification procedure. There'd be a public hearing. There'd be a decision from the decision-making body, whether that be a rent stabilization board or the city council acting as a rent stabilization board or some other decision-making authority. And then there'll be an appeals option for residents to appeal a certain percentage of a residence or for the mobile home park owners to appeal. So the next steps are to complete the draft ordinance, which, like I mentioned, is in progress. I would love any feedback or comments from the other ordinances that we've distributed. If there's something that you feel very strongly as far as a process, I know there are a lot to read through, but if you really think one ordinance type or one process system would work best in Saco, please feel free to let me know. You can email administration@sacomaine.org and I'll get that email. Once we have the draft ordinance completed, we will distribute it to the council. I'm envisioning to have that within 2 to 3 weeks, and then we would go through the review process with council. It's possible we may need to workshop it a little bit or come back to new business just to make sure we've got it right. And then the interim, I'll also be, like I mentioned before, engaging the staff of the Affordable Housing Task Force to take a look at this and make a recommendation as well. And we'll have a legal review. But I want to make sure that I've got the basis of what everyone's looking for, or at least some thoughts of what folks are looking for before we go too far down the path of legal review. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to take them now. I know there was a public comment tonight specific to this item, so I'll make sure to go back and listen to any public comment that I did not hear as well.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Deputy Prescott? Councilor Edwards.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. So just as you were talking, I was thinking, so if the Blue Haven residents, for example, were successful in purchasing the mobile home park, would they also, as owners, be subject to the rules?
You could write, did you want me to address that? You could write in exemptions so that certain types of mobile home parks are exempt. So usually an owner-occupied mobile home park could be exempt, but we'd have to make sure the language is clear as to who and what this applies to.
Thank you.
Thank you, good question.
And with that, just because I do believe this, if the state one does have them exempt from following the ordinance. Councilor Gale.
Just a quick question on the slide that had kind of the high level, you're looking at limitation on number of rent increases, and then the consumer price index plus 1%. So is that, I guess how I'm interpreting that is that you're looking at the number of times the rent can be increased. That's the first bullet. And
Right.
the second bullet is what the percentage increase.
How it can be increased.
Yeah, that calculation. I guess just on the consumer price index, is that, from your research, the best index to use for that, or are there alternatives that may be a little less volatile?
So so there are various ways that we can look at the percentage increase. It doesn't have to be this, but this is one of the options. And so it was one that I'm looking at pretty closely. But again, if there's anything from the ordinances, other folks do it differently. I saw one that's based on Social Security rate increases. So consumer price index, though, was a popular one. I think it was maybe 2 out of the ordinances that I saw.
Thank you.
Councilor Arnon?
I believe, just for the sake of clarification, the state regulation references the CPI as well.
Yes,
so that's
it is.
one of the foundational issues of why people have used CPI in their ordinances is it is compliant with what the state is issuing as guidance.
Correct. It
Okay.
is referenced as well.
Anyone else? Can you explain the vacancy-based rent again? What is that based on?
Some ordinances allow for the rents of when you have a legal vacancy and a space to be increased by a certain percentage.
Oh, for new residents possibly
Right.
moving, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if Saco is looking to do that or not, but I wanted to make sure we didn't lose sight of it.
Okay. Councilor Gale.
And then I guess just lastly, thank you for putting this on the agenda, Mayor, and all the work that you've been doing on this in concurrence with the budget season and everything. So thank you, and it's a great timeline. Thank you for putting that out there.
Administrator?
Thank you, Deputy Administrator Prescott, for always doing a great job, including this evening. I heard you say a few times, or reference getting comments back to you. Do you have a timeline or a deadline in mind that you'd like to have comments back from council?
Why don't we send an email out, if that's okay with you, as an exact date, but maybe within the next week and a half or so would be excellent. Comments can always come later, but it would be helpful in the establishment of the ordinance.
Could you just re-include the other ordinances in that email so it's in one location?
Yes, and I will include fresh copies without my highlights.
Did Sanford just pass? Is it Sanford? Okay, yep. So Sanford just passed theirs as well. Alfred? Okay.
And if I may, I'm happy to look at anything else too. So if we get emails from other folks sent to administration, I'll look at those as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item 10, that is an administrative update. Administrator Pelletier?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Well, since Kevin stole my thunder, I won't update you on the jetty. Just kidding. I actually didn't have it in this week's report because we had reported on it earlier, but it is exciting and looking forward to seeing the barges in Saco Bay. First on the report, absentee voting comes to a close this week. This is the final week to request an absentee ballot ahead of the June 9th primary and school budget election. On the absentee ballot request deadline, Thursday, June 4, the Saco City Clerk's Office will hold extended hours running from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Election day polls will be open at Thornton Academy's Linnell Gymnasium, 438 Main Street, Tuesday, June 9, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can look at sample ballots and full election details on our website, sacomaine.org/elections. Community History Project Walking Tour registration is now open for a special Community History Project Walking Tour led by City Historian Peter Scontris. Join us Friday, June 26 at 2 p.m. for this 2-hour guided experience that will explore 8 of the newly installed historic signs located downtown. Participants will meet at the York Manufacturing Company Mills sign located on the south side of Factory Island. Registration for the tour is required and the event is limited to 40 attendees. Registration can be made by visiting sacomaine.org/CHP Walking Tour. Summer Road Safety Demo Project Pre-Survey Live Pop-Up Event on June 4. The City of Saco and the Greater Portland Council of Governments are planning a low-cost, quick-build project, also known as a demonstration project, along Main Street this summer. GPCOG and Saco are holding a pop-up event focused on this project on June 4 from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. in front of City Hall. Stop by to learn more about the project, ask questions, and share feedback on the proposed safety improvements. New Maine Water Discount Program. Maine Water is offering a new discount program for income-eligible community members. To apply for a reduced rate on your next water bill, email customerservice@mainwater.com with your name, account number, and a copy of current state low-income benefits. Low-income benefits must be in the same name as your Maine Water account. Lastly, we'd like to recognize Deputy Fire Chief Clifton Witten, who won a state award. Deputy Fire Chief Witten has received the 2026 Maine EMS Lifetime Achievement Award. This was for his outstanding service to Saco, his dedication to our community's safety, and his career of individualized care for those in crisis. His contributions to the Saco Fire Department help bolster the safety of our community today and for decades to come. And our upcoming council meetings are June 8, June 15, and July 6. That concludes the report.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for the administrator? Okay, not seeing any. All righty, moving on to item 11, that is council discussion and comment. Are there any councilors wishing to share? Councilor Edwards?
Thank you, Mayor. I was perusing Facebook when I had found out that another person had been hit in an accident at the intersections of Spring and North Street. There's much commentary and many people feeling that that is and 112 in general is a very dangerous road, but at that intersection, my understanding is that that's one of the top 3 or 4 intersections for accidents. I would just like to let those people who are in the room now and also viewing know that the Traffic Safety Commission, I understand, is looking into this and re-examining information regarding that accident and in general what safety precautions can be taken. But I also urge residents to make sure that they are attentive on the road, particularly for new drivers and older drivers. Make sure that you are attentive and follow local speed laws. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Ronan?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I want to congratulate, heartfelt congratulations to our Public Works Department. I know I said this in an email earlier, but tremendous effort in getting the Ferry Road Culvert project completed on time. It had workable pavement and was connected down to Camp Ellis on the date they said it would be done. And it's, in this day and age, hard to get that kind of work ethic and that kind of energy and that kind of commitment to the community. So I want to make sure that they know from my space here on the council that I'm very appreciative of that, and I know Camp Ellis is as well. And secondly, I want to congratulate SOS on their continuing and long, hard efforts to getting rocks to the jetty. And I know at some point in time we're going to be happy, but it may be about a year. So beyond that, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, not seeing anyone seeking recognition. Moving on to item 12, that is our executive session for the evening. Is there a motion? Counselor Parks?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Be it ordered that the City Council enter into executive session pursuant to MRSA Title I, Chapter 13, Subchapter 1, Subsection 4056, E, consultation between the municipality and its attorney, the Ecology School, Lucia Kimball Health Trust matter, and public easements.
Thank you. Motion has been made by Counselor Parks. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Edwards. Roll call vote. Counselor Edwards?
Yes.
Counselor Parks?
Yes.
Counselor Onen?
Yes.
Counselor Gale?
Yes.
Counselor Hewitt?
Yes.
Counselor Johnston?
Yes.
Motion to enter executive session at 7:16 passes 6-0, and we will be meeting in the administrator's office. All right, welcome back, everyone. Is there a motion to exit executive session?
So moved.
Motion made by Counselor Onen. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Edwards. Roll call vote. Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Counselor Parks.
Yes.
Counselor Onen.
Yes.
Counselor Gale.
Yes.
Counselor Hewitt.
Yes.
Counselor Johnston.
Yes.
Motion to exit executive session passes 6-0 at 9:01. Is there a report? Counselor Parks.
No report, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Moving on to item 14, which is an adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion made by Counselor Edwards. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Hewitt. Roll call vote. Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Counselor Parks.
Yeah.
Counselor Onen.
Yes.
Counselor Gale.
Yes.
Counselor Hewitt.
Yes.
Counselor Johnston.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn at 9:01 passes 6-0. And thank you, everyone, and have a great night.